LPBW, Chris Marek slammed for pushing Amy to interact with her ex, Matt Roloff. Dear loves, welcome to TLC Drama. Please do subscribe my YouTube channel. Matt Roloff and his wife Amy were once a wholesome pair. However, things took a dark turn in their relationship when Little People Big World captured their divorce. They had been together for 27 years prior to that. But love knocked on their door twice. That's because Matt soon got into a relationship with Caryn Chandler and Amy was lucky to find Chris Marek. While the latter couple is married now, the former is not. Yet, both Amy's current and ex-husbands share a good bond. Many LPBW fans find that a little weird. In fact, someone suggested that Chris has been the one behind pushing his wife to be in touch with her ex. To know more details about this, Chris Marek and Amy Roloff's stories come into being very organically. Both of them used to be really good friends before feelings bloomed. Now, they have been married for a year. On the other hand, Matt and Caryn began dating in 2017. As per speculation, he and Amy got a divorce as the LPBW star was allegedly cheating on her with his farm manager, Caryn. However, the latter two have not yet shed light on that allegation. But it is obvious that many times Amy Roloff looks rather uncomfortable in the show when spending time with her ex, Matt Roloff, and his partner, Caryn Chandler. A Redditor speculated in a thread that Chris Marek must be forcing his wife, Amy Roloff, to spend time with her ex. Well, LPBW viewers must have seen how well the Roloff patriarch gets along with Chris. While they find it weird, they think this is why Amy has to suffer and be in their presence. However, many other fans responded to the threat by saying that it is TLC trying to create scenarios where Amy and Matt end up spending time all together with their significant others. So, many deduced that all four of them hang out just for the views and that there was nothing organic about a TLC reality show. This isn't the first time the LPBW fans thought something fishy was going on between Chris, Amy, Matt, and Caryn. In fact, they had already accused the TLC network of scripting their storyline in the past as well. Well, in Little People Big World Season 23, all four of them took a trip to Arizona together. Again, exes Matt and Amy Roloff willing to spend time with each other was weird for the fans. It turns out Matt and Caryn had given the newly married couple a gift basket. In it, there were 2 plane tickets to Arizona. The former couple wanted the latter to join them on their frequent getaway for once, as so many fans took to social media again to say that TLC has been manipulating the narrative. They strongly felt that the trip was just a way to make the season more exciting. They knew that 2 exes on the same trip would cause a lot of drama. So, they allegedly bribed all 4 of the cast members to go on the trip. However, it is merely speculation on the internet. Neither Chris, Amy, Matt, Caryn, nor the TV network has responded to these allegations. In fact, the latest season came to an end only a few days ago, and there are no details yet about the renewal of the show. Chris Marek from Little People Big World has won over viewers thanks to his positive approach to being a stepfather to Amy Roloff's 4 children. The real estate agent has a way with words, and often comes across as a kind person. The newest addition to the show is undoubtedly doing something right. After Amy's divorce from Matt Roloff, she met her now husband Chris at a paint and sip party. The event was a blind date, and fans could see that the two were smitten with one another. They seemed to fall in love while they were on Chris' motorcycle, and were engaged by 2019. For the most part, Chris has shown himself to be a sensitive man who is drastically different from Matt. He often encourages Amy to follow her dreams, and has always supported her through the endless Roloff family turmoil. Due to his genuine personality, it is only natural that he is a great step-parent. Little People, Big World followers couldn't help but praise Chris after a recent episode, and took to a Reddit thread created by Pumpkin Adept to do so. Many shared that they loved seeing Chris interact with the kids, and praised him for actively wanting to be a part of Amy's grandkids' lives. One example used was the fact that Chris went to support Zach at his weightlifting competition. Chris made every effort to show his stepson that he could count on him for any kind of fatherly support, especially since Zach and Matt were dealing with turbulence in their relationship. While fans were Team Chris, many agreed that they were not Team Chris and Matt. The two men have formed an odd friendship over the years. While it seemed like Chris befriended Matt to make peace, and to make life easier for the Roloffs, he may actually have a different agenda. Little People, Big World fans feel that Chris may. After her divorce. While there is little doubt that Amy's husband is a nice guy, viewers don't think that he should want to spend time with Matt and Caryn Chandler in Arizona, or at home in Oregon. Regardless of the family dynamics on Little People, Big World, it looks like Chris is in it for the long haul. There is no doubt that Amy is much happier in her relationship, and probably loves the fact that her husband is building such strong bonds with her children. While fans only really get to see how Chris interacts with Zach, it is fair to assume that he also has good relationships with Jeremy, Molly, and Jacob Roloff. Amy Roloff from Little People, Big World recently remarried, and fans are criticizing her for not changing her last name. Amy tied the knot with Chris Marek in August of 2021. Previously, Amy was married to Matt Roloff for over 20 years before they decided to call it quits. Matt has also moved on and found love with his girlfriend, Caryn Chandler. Fans were excited to see Amy find happiness again, but they couldn't help but notice that her last name has stayed the same. Amy and Chris had a beautiful wedding in Helvetia, Oregon, on the Roloff family farm. It meant a lot to Amy to have her wedding on the farm since she had so many happy moments there. This was her opportunity to create new memories with Chris and the rest of her family. There were some ups and downs with planning the wedding, even down to whom the guest list would include. Even though Amy and Matt are still on good terms, they both decided it would be best if he and his girlfriend Caryn didn't attend. Amy and Matt have 4 children together, and their divorce was heartbreaking for the family. Viewers have followed the Roloff family through their highs and lows for 22 seasons and are deeply invested in their story. It was thrilling for fans to see that the divorce was handled amicably, and the family still stayed intact. When Amy announced the news of her engagement to Chris, it was met with support and encouragement. After the wedding, fans started to notice that Amy did not take Chris' last name. This particular detail frustrated and confused fans and left them wondering why she chose to keep the Roloff name. There is still a lot to know about Chris Marek, but it is clear that he and Amy are in love. Amy recently shared heartwarming photos on Instagram from her wedding and captioned the post, "What a year." Best day in 2021. Many fans congratulated Amy and commented on what a beautiful bride she was. However, many couldn't get past why the Little People, Big World star decided to keep her ex-husband's last name. One user wrote, "Why is your last name still Roloff when you married Chris?" Another irritated fan commented on the post, commenting, "Pretty dress." But, the ex-husband's last name has to go if you want to move on. You are not a Roloff anymore. Amy declined to respond to the inquisitive and opinionated comments. Aside from being a reality TV star, Amy is also an entrepreneur, author, philanthropist, and inspirational speaker. Since she has so many successful endeavors, it is probably easier to keep the Roloff name. It is still unknown if Amy will eventually change her last name down the line, but for now, it looks as if she and Chris do not have a problem with it. However, it could be an issue for Caryn if Matt decides to eventually pop the question. Little People, Big World Season 23 is set to premiere next month, and fans are eager to see what the new season has in store. Roloff Farms wasn't always an absolute no, regardless. It was on the back burner, a plan B type of thing, because we did have other places where we were looking at. And then by the time we picked a date, those other places went by the wayside. So, Roloff Farms rose to the top. But, to Chris's credit, he really helped me see it in a different perspective. Amy admitted of having their wedding on the family farm she shared with her ex, Matt Roloff. I mean, I've raised my kids there. I've been on that farm for many, many years, but it's also where we met. It's also where our relationship grew and became what it was. So to solidify it, and start our married life with our wedding there, and then going off into the sunset, makes sense. Amy revealed that it was actually Matt who offered the farm up for their special day. And while the former couple definitely went through their fair share of ups and downs before getting to where they are now, the reality TV star shared that their divorce provided her with some valuable wisdom she's taking into her new journey with Chris. I think the one thing that I was very happy and very proud of and definitely hung on to, well, two things maybe. Number one was my faith, but number two was so many women can look down upon themselves that they're not worthy, she shared. They're not good enough. Something must have been wrong or whatever the reason may be, and I came out of it. It's something that broke. It's something that didn't out, but I'm still good. I'm a good person. I have a heart. Something got lost along the way, but to end a relationship like that in the public eye and still come out. I'm okay with just me. If I never have that opportunity to find someone, I'm good with me. I like being with me. Through their journey, Chris has also integrated and been accepted into the big, extended Roloff family, something he said he's so grateful for. I enjoy being a part of that family. And I'm so grateful that they've all seemed to accept me. Chris gushed. I just look forward to the years ahead, just getting closer and growing together. Amy initially worried that her kids and grandkids wouldn't like the man she chose to move on with, so having them love and accept Chris is the cherry on the cake for her. For me, it's just like the cherry on the cake in everything, because being divorced and hoping one day I would find that special someone. I wanted to be somewhat prepared and mentally prepared, that I may love someone, but it won't be guaranteed that my kids will like who their mom chose or the grandkids and stuff, she shared. My heart is just overflowing with such thankfulness and love that over the 5 years that we've been dating and knowing each other, the kids have been able to get to know Chris and know mom's going to be okay. She picked a great guy. And for them to be so accepting of him, and embracing him within the family and everything. I'm overjoyed, really, because family and my kids are everything to me. With their new special, the newlyweds are looking forward to reliving their big day and sharing their love story and the growth of their relationship and their family with the world. I hope what people see throughout this whole thing is a love story. This is my second one, and this is Chris's first, but I think just the growth of our relationship, through the episodes and prior seasons and now being able to be part of this wedding special, Amy explained. I just hope they see a love story that has grown, has solidified, and I don't know, just happy. We all know relationships take work, but it's so worth it. It wasn't anything against Matt or girlfriend Caryn Chandler, but it made it more comfortable for the kids and for the guests, Marek, 59, explained to us on Monday, November 1. While promoting the upcoming Amy and Chris's Happily Ever After special on TLC. Especially for the kids, that would have been awkward for Amy and Matt's kids. Which one are they supposed to be happy for? I just think it would have been a lot of mixed emotions for them to be there together. Amy, 57, and Matt, 60, were previously married for 27 years before filing for divorce in June 2015. They share twins Zach and Jeremy, 31, daughter Molly, 27, and son Jacob, 24. Amy met Marek in 2016 and they tied the knot in August after 5 years of dating. During the nuptials, the pair ended up celebrating their union at Roloff Farms, while Matt and his girlfriend, 53, enjoyed a sweet getaway. dropped the keys to the farm in Chris's hands last night. Then, after a short 90-minute drive, started having up-close and personal wildlife adventure on the Oregon coast. Matt rode alongside a video of wildlife via Instagram at the time. I was planning to have our wedding somewhere else. I had a couple of venues that I was thinking of and everything, but the farm was always on the radar. It was like Plan B, Amy detailed to us. In the end, the farm really worked out because it gave us time to decorate a few days prior. So in the end, the farm, was really the perfect venue. We were looking elsewhere, but we had it in the back of our mind if we couldn't find anything about approaching Matt. So it was a surprise that he brought it up first because we didn't ask him, the realtor revealed. We just always thought if they couldn't find another place, then we'd go to Matt. But we didn't have to. So it was a nice surprise that he offered.